Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Absolutely beautiful day here. We're going to go down to Sumburgh Head to the lighthouse to see if we can see some puffins. We've heard they're back to Shetland, so we're going to go and see if we can find some and get a photo.
No, you're not coming. I think you would like the puffins too much.
Hey look, puffins! So we made it to Sumburgh Head, and as you can see the lighthouse in the background, it's an absolutely beautiful night and there are loads of puffins. It's the most I've ever seen. So there's definitely some shots to get, but one of the shots I would love to get, if I possibly can, is in the background over there in the distance is the Northlink Ferry. You can just see it over there coming into shot, and I would love to get a picture of the ferry with a puffin. Don't know if it's possible, depends on the angles, how close it comes to it, but we'll give it a bash and see how we get on. We've definitely got some nice photos of the puffins to edit when we go home. So the puffin is kind of one of these sort of symbols of Shetland. If you come to Shetland, you want to see a puffin. The best place I think to go and see them is either at Nos or up at Hermanus. But Sumburgh Head Lighthouse is a great place to go as well. It's scared by humans at all, so it's easy to photograph them. And hopefully we've got some nice shots of them. Look at the light, beautiful night, hundreds of puffins, and I managed to get the shot I was after. It is always windy here, so I'm not sure how the audio is going to turn out, but I managed to get a shot with the Northlink in the background, the ferry that goes between Aberdeen and Shetland, and lots of puffins. So we'll go home and edit it, show you lots of nice puffin footage. So we're a couple of days after going to see the puffins, and what an incredible night it was. As I said in the video many times, I'm sure, it was the most that I'd ever seen of them. And since the weather's been so nice, I thought we'd come outside to do some editing, although it is still pretty windy. And I know that this scene's a little contrasty, but it was the best I could do to shelter from the wind so the audio wasn't destroyed. As you can see here, this is some of the photos. As you can see here, this is one of the photos I took, and the reason I'm going to edit this one is that simply it was my wife's favourite one. She says that it was the best one, so always worth listening to your wife. So this was taken at 1/125th of a second at f5.6 and ISO 400 at 164mm. ISO 400 might seem like a little bit of a strange ISO to be shooting at, but it was actually just because I actually had my ND filters on the front of the lens, which can take away from some of the quality of it, but if you've watched one of my previous videos, then I'm pretty impressed by these, so I wasn't concerned by it, but it meant that I was able to film and take photos at the same time. So what I've done with this is I've increased the exposure a little bit. The photo went from this here to this, so there's not that much I've done to it, because actually I was pretty happy with the original photo anyway. So all I've done was increase the contrast, dropped the highlights down, increased the shadows, adjusted the whites and the blacks. I didn't really do much, if anything. I don't think I did anything in the curves at all. I did, however, adjust some of the colours. I dropped the oranges to be a bit more red. I increased the saturation of the greens just so that it would make the grass pop a little bit more. I took the hue of the blue sea in the background down to be a bit more aqua, and yeah, that was really it. In the effects, I always add a vignette. I added a little bit of texture just to bring out some of the detail in the puffins themselves. I decreased the clarity just because I made it quite contrasty in the first place, so by taking down the clarity it just gives it maybe a little bit more of a dreamy kind of look. When it comes to the detail, I didn't do much to the sharpening, maybe added just a little touch. And as always, I do add the lens corrections to it. I was actually really happy with a number of the photos that I took. As you can see here, there's a few of them that I took from different angles. I got the photo that I was looking for, although it probably wasn't my favourite puffin photo, but I did get what I was looking for, and sometimes that is quite a satisfying feeling, because there's a lot of times I come back from taking photos and I'm disappointed with the outcome. But I did manage to get this, and it did appear on the Northlink website. They were delighted to share that on their social media accounts. So all in all, it was a brilliant night. If you're in Shetland and you want to see some puffins, check them out at Sumburgh Head or Nos or at Hermanus up in Unst. But yeah, great night and glad to see them again. Be back next week. Have a great week.